First off, apologies that I'm wearing a t-shirt. It's very warm here. We've just come back from COPJA, which is the school project at Common Relief Sporting, where basically for kids whose families have HIV/AIDS, and if they've lost a parent or lost two parents, they can basically just come to the school and be fed, given an education, given a school uniform, and generally given a chance to get away from everything in the slums. We started off today with breakfast, which was absolutely fantastic. Just being able to see over the Nairobi National Park, where I saw and got some photos of some giraffe, and I think it was an ostrich or emu, looked the same. That was absolutely stunning and a fantastic way to start the trip. We then got ready about 8:15, and everyone got into the cars, which took a little while. Obviously, all the security that had to be done. So then we went off to the project, and we stopped off at the High Commissioner's, I think it was, and then walked through the slums to the project itself. And that was truly, I can't really put it into words. It was, the only word really is awful. So walking through streets that have got the sewer running down the side of them, plastic, rubbish, everything piled up, everything you see on the TV for these Common Relief projects, it's true. They were there, and kids playing around in the filth, animals there, people touching the animals, chickens, everything that really doesn't help our hygiene or anything. We got to school and we had a little brief introduction from Sister Anne, I think it was, and she told everyone about all the good stuff and what was happening, and then why it was happening, like kids getting raped, which is absolutely disgusting. And the school helps the kids, as I say, those who've lost a parent, lost two parents, mostly from HIV, and it's called a lead child head, where it's the oldest member of the family and the siblings, the children, actually has to look after the kids and do everything for them. But after we did that, we went to see the small garden which they were growing bags of some vegetables, some important vegetables. But they look like bags, I'm sure you would see in the videos, they look like bags that back in the UK we wouldn't even consider could have food in them. They would just be chucked in the bin straight away. After that was the fun part. We got to go and see the kids in the classrooms. And the class we went into was taught by a teacher called Ben, who taught Swahili, social studies and science. And his class size was 52. 52 children in a room no bigger than probably half the size of the hotel room, which is about for the width of two and a half double beds. 52. Kids were impeccably behaved, really friendly and chatty. I asked them a few questions to find out what they wanted to do when they were older, and what their hobbies were, sports, everything like that. After that, it was their break time. I went out, mingled with them, played ball with them, a few games, running around, some photos, and just generally see what kids do being kids. just like any other kid back home. And these poor little tykes don't have anything, not much anyway. After that, it might have been before we went to see the sort of medical community station. It's basically where if a teacher identifies that a child's been off ill or hasn't been performing reading and homework, that kind of thing, is tired, they can refer them to what we class as social worker, and they can then go and talk to a social worker and they can find out what's wrong and generally see what they can do to help and give them medication if they need it, or just general guidance so they know they're not alone. And there's a room over there whereby they're not feeling well, they can just crash down and sleep, or they even said if a child just needs to get away from it all, they've got toys in there as well that they can sit and play with. After that, around lunchtime we had a bite to eat. I went out and helped, or we served the kids their lunch, which are the small, they look like chickpeas, so ladle of chickpeas. Not entirely sure what it is, but I think it's the corn type thing. It comes from the World Health Organization, that kind of idea. And after lunch we got packed up. I went to see a young lady who's 17. Her mum and dad died. Dad died in 2001, her mum died in 2008. And she's looking after all of her siblings. It's eight kids she's looking after. And she's HIV positive. It's fantastic, and the most amazing thing is how resilient she is, and how full of life and cheer, and she got smiles, the kids are smiling, everything. It's just absolutely amazing considering what they've been through. Projects help them. It's apparently one of their neighbours noticed her family, or there's 9 people living together, and one of the outreach workers were spoken to, and they went to the case study straight away, found out what they could do, how they could help, and got it set up. But they're paying a rent. They asked how much the rent was. That's about £1,000 a month. It sounds a lot, but when you put it into sterling, it's about a tenner, 10 quid. And that's what? Friday night takeaway? Pizza? Pack of beer? Case of beer? And that's what this lady and her family be undercover for a month. It does put things into perspective. Anyway, positive note, we helped set up a new bed for them, bunk beds, for her and the kids. The oldest kid's 13 and has to look after the rest of them, along with an outreach worker if she's ill. And the youngest is 3 years old. There's 8 of them that she has to look after.